Today I'm going to teach you how to make another car seat poncho. I'm using Minky and waterproof ripstop nylon, but my suggestion is to not use those fabrics because oh my god, the two combined was so complicated. Anyways, start by folding your fabric in fours. Then you can measure from the folded corner to however big you would like it. Mine was 12 inches and you're just going to make a big circle. Then on that folded corner, we're going to cut out a circle for the head hole. I believe mine was a 5-inch circle. And I fold it into fours and then put it right there in the corner. Then we can take the remainder fabric and measure for our hood. My hood piece is 10 by 20. I'll post all the measurements in the captions. I recommend using flannel. This Minky plus the ripstop nylon were really fighting each other. They are both super slippery fabrics. And I honestly hate how this one turned out. So I plan on remaking it soon. Anyways, when you get that one cut out, you can use these pieces for measurements for the other fabric. You can do the same step by folding it in fours, but since this is such a big piece of fabric, I didn't want to put a circle in the middle, so I just kind of laid it out and I cut all the way around it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Then you'll head over to your machine, fold the hood pieces, long side and right sides together. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. And then you're going to sew that together like this. If you're using Minky, you probably really want a pin. Clips just don't hold Minky the way it should. You're going to do this step to both hood pieces. Once that is done, on your folded corner, you're going to measure a 2x2 square and cut that out on both hood pieces. Now you're going to adjust your fabric so the edge with the seam goes up and down vertically, and sew right sides together. Repeat these steps on your other hood piece. Now that that's done, you can take it all back to the floor so we can pin the hood. Your exterior fabric will be right side facing upwards and the hood will be turned right side out. The seam will be at the back of the neck area. Sorry, this angle honestly really sucks. Here's a little bit of a better visual. This nylon ripstop was honestly really hard to work with, so I'm really sorry about the bad angle. Just pin like crazy. And then you will repeat the same step for the other fabric. I tried using pins for the Minky. I work with Minky a lot and I usually never have an issue, but I guess this fabric was extra slippery. I definitely prefer sticking with the flannel for these ponchos. I like to use flannel blankets from Walmart. They are $4.22 at Walmart. You can see that in my other poncho video. All right, you're going to go back to your machine and you're going to sew the hood on. This is so hard to show you because of all the pins, but basically you're going to stick the neck hole into a little opening of your machine right here. This makes sewing the poncho hood on so much simpler since it's a circle and such a little tight space. And you're going to sew the hood on and repeat the step for the other poncho. This is where in my project I knew that this was a big mistake. The Minky, the ripstop, I don't know. There are both such slippery fabrics. And I think this part was the nail in the coffin when I realized I ran out of bobbin thread and didn't get the hood sewn on completely. Anyways, you're going to take that back to your floor, turn one of the ponchos inside out, and place the fabrics right sides together. Take an embarrassing long time pinning all of them together. Your circles probably won't match up perfectly, and that's okay. Just cut off the excess or work with it. I have sewn like 20 ponchos, and I've never had any of them line up perfectly. Especially this Minky. I don't know. This took me such a long time. Then you'll head back to your machine and sew all the way around that. Here is another part of the project where I was like, oh my god, why am I doing this with these two slippery fabrics? Because no matter how much I pinned, there was still a lot of puckering and I was actually questioning my sanity at this point. But I pulled through. Just don't do it with Minky and ripstop. You'll have a better time. All right, now that you've sewn it, you will flip it right sides out and pin all the way around. Here you can see my big puckering. I just clipped it down and sewed it anyways. This poncho was supposed to be for my toddler, but I actually hated the way it turned out. I think it's the ripstop. Anyways, you're just going to go around and pin that to death. So then you can take it back to your machine afterwards and top stitch around the circle. I was rushing at this point, so I was not having any kind of fun. Usually I love sewing these. All right, now that we are finally to our hood, my hood pieces did not match up at all, but that was okay. And if yours don't match up either, that's okay. Just take your scissors and cut it. This is handmade, and that means it's not going to be perfect. And while you have your scissors in your hand, go ahead and cut about 4 inches into the center of the neckline. This makes putting the poncho over your child's head so much easier. Then you can pin like crazy and take it to your sewing machine and pick whatever decorative stitch you like. If you don't have a decorative stitch, a top stitch is fine, even a zigzag. You do you, and at this point you're probably exhausted, so do whatever's the quickest. Anyways, here's my poncho on my son. I absolutely hate it. I made the hood way too big. I gave you the right measurements though. Also, the ripstop is loud.